interested to see how your team responds to going on the road and the challenges that come in, different environments and being in someone else's building.
Sure. I mean, it's exciting. We're underway now. I think playing Big Ten games right out of the gate and having two competitive games like they were, you jumped right into the mid-season. I mean, those games were like playoff games as far as the intensity, and obviously they both went down to the last second of each game. So I think that was I guess you jumped right into the middle of the season right out of the gate. So now we're going to Boston College, a team that is a team that's going to be fun to play against for a lot of different reasons. But I think the wake-up call of realizing that we're in the battle or the heat of the season now was good for us. So we're looking forward to continue to build on what happened this weekend, because I think the weekend was a solid weekend. I think we played a really competitive, good offensive team in Ohio State. Being the second and third games of the year, you're going to have some things that you wish you could have done better, but that's part of growing as a team, and you look to get better each and every weekend, so we'll look to do that this weekend.
When you have that jolt of going right into conference play and then you have to go back to non-conference, is there any worry about any kind of dip in that intensity level that you were talking about in going into this weekend?
I don't think so. I think the biggest thing is we know we're in season now. We know the importance of non-conference and conference games. We saw the intensity in the first game against Michigan Tech. That wasn't one of those exhibition games. That was a full-out game as well. So Boston College is a ranked team. They're a team that we're going to have to beat or stay ahead of as the season moves along. So it's obviously important from that standpoint. And I think getting on the road will be good for us as well. As a team, you always look forward to, being able to be focused, because it's just hockey when you get on the road. And last year we I thought played really, really well away from here, and it'd be important to get off to a good start on the road this year for us.
Coach.
Hi, Julia.
Hi. 10 different guys scored points over the weekend. Some guys had their first goals. Is that kind of what you're expecting out of the offense, like getting point production from all over?
Yeah, I think our team has good balance. I didn't think, if we looked at the games or what our expectations going on, I think we would have thought we would have been able to generate more offense than we were able to. Ohio State played pretty stingy defensively. We got 5 goals against them on the weekend. I thought we would have created more offensively, but I also thought they would have created a heck of a lot more offensively as well. So it was a really tight checking defensive battle. So I think that our team has the potential to score as much or more than we did last year. And we got to get in a little bit rhythm offensively. But I think the contribution, especially from Tarek Baker getting 2 big goals as a freshman, was outstanding. I thought our power play didn't get a lot of, we didn't have a lot of power plays. The second game we had a few that we actually had great chances on. We didn't score. So I think that production will come, but it was great to see our freshmen contribute. S jumped up in the play and made a great play on our first goal on Saturday night. So our young defensemen will be helping us offensively, and they should be able to help our forwards produce more so as well.
What did your penalty kill do so well in limiting their opportunities? There are 1 or 2 power plays where they got a few chances, but for most of them, they're
I thought we did a good job on our forecheck early in the game on the penalty kill. They had pretty easy time entering on Friday night. I thought Saturday night our guys were better there. And then if you can keep them off balance when you do get a clear on their entries, and you don't get easy entries into your zone, you kind of can keep them off balance the entire kill. I thought that, especially early in the game, I thought we did that really, really well. And we had shot blockers when we needed it, and a couple big saves when we needed it as well. But that's last year were they number 1 in the nation in the power play, so they have a lot of firepower. Obviously 26, 5-on-5, 5-on-4, it doesn't matter. That guy's dangerous, and we did a nice job on him on the PK.
Defensively, you limited them to 42 shots on goal. So where are you better defensively now than maybe you were last year at any time?
I think a couple things. One, all our players that are returners, and there's only 3 of them on the back end that played this weekend, are comfortable with Mark, with what Mark's tried to instill from a defensive tactic style of play. So they're really comfortable with it. I think they've helped the freshmen adjust to it. They were all in different pairs, so each freshman were able to play with a veteran player this weekend in the back end. But you had 3 defensemen in the lineup that add a lot of depth and skill to your lineup. I think we're deeper back there at that position, and I think our team mentality of playing better team defense was very apparent in the first 2 games.
The contributions you've gotten from your freshmen, is that what you expected, or is it maybe a little bit more than you expected so far through the first couple of weeks?
I think we're very happy with what the freshmen have done. Linus had the 2 goals, and then Baker the 2 goals so far, and the contributions you got from the defense. I think Dukes is on his way. He started as the series went on to get some more chances offensively. So I think our players, we expect our freshmen to be a big part of our team this year. That's why they're in the lineup. That's why they're getting lots of ice time in critical situations. I think the one guy that offensively maybe is a lot of confidence that we thought might take a little longer to get going was Tark, and that's just he's a competitor, he's a worker, he's a skater, he believes in himself. He's a guy that goes through the wall for your team. So his energy was I think certainly the catalyst in both the last 2 games, and certainly for the win on Saturday was a big part of it.
So when Tarek produces like that, or any player, there's a tendency to maybe move them up in the lineup a little bit. Is that something he was on the 3rd line, so to speak.
Well, he was on the ice a lot, so I don't think lines matter. He's on the ice a lot. He got a lot of early reps on the penalty kill as a freshman. You don't want to throw him into the fire in a close game against, in your first Big Ten game, and you put him on the ice against Jobst and that power play unit. But with the way he was playing, every time the whistle blew, you look down the bench and you want to throw him on the ice. So he was on the ice the last minute of the game. He played hard. He played a lot of good minutes for us. So when you play like that, you'll get on the ice, and that's a great compliment to him. We knew what he could bring from an energy standpoint. He's hard to play against. He's good on face-offs. He knows the game. But I love the confidence offensively. You go on a penalty shot, and you make a play like that on a penalty shot, and then you score a big goal the next game on a 2-on-1 where you're not afraid to shoot it, which I think is the biggest thing from a confidence standpoint. Most guys in a 2-on-1 think, okay, I got to pass this thing. I got to try to. And he saw an opportunity where he could beat the goalie and just decided to fire it. And I thought that was really says a lot about where he's at right now with his game.
We don't talk about Will Johnson maybe as much as we should, because a guy that just kind of contributes in whatever role he's asked to do. Is he as versatile as, you have guys like Wags and Maloney, guys that can do a lot of different things? Is he in that same class?
He's reliable, and he's a guy that, again, is, and I like the way you said that when you describe him, but he's kind of behind, under the radar, and all of a sudden he makes the big play. And I think he's a guy that can score goals for us and will, because he pays a price around the net. And I think the penalty killing stuff he's able to do to help us from a depth standpoint on that is very important, and also power play time. So he's a big part of our team, like most of the guys. But I think that he's been a contributor that finds a way to make big plays when the game's on the line. So he's very reliable.